Hi guys, welcome to the video. In this video I'm doing a solo run of the Proving Ground strike on Master. As you're aware, if you go to the portal and you select any of the strikes, if you edit the modifiers, it becomes a solo activity, which is perfect for somebody like me. I forgot to record the modifiers that I'm using, so I'm using locked loadout, I'm using starting with no ammo, and pestilence, which is where scions drop void grenades once you defeat them. So my complete setup will be at the end of the video, but just so that you guys are aware, I'm using the Mint Retrograde as my primary, the Sublimation, which is an Arc Scout rifle, as my main kind of primary but my energy weapon, and Whisper the Worm for my heavy. The reason I chose to go with no starting ammo is in this immediate section, before you get to your first champion, there are more than enough ads to be able to drop enough ammo to take out the two champions that you'll face on the way up to the mini boss. Now, I went for weapons that are efficient at range, because when you're dealing with champions especially, now I suppose it might be a bit easier if you're doing like a solo lost sector or something like that, but when there are a lot of ads, you could be shot from anywhere. So running up, I did have a bit of a laugh when I seen the overloads had a shotgun thing. Who's running up to an overload to shotgun them in a strike like this? Anyway, well, there's no overloads in this one, so nobody is. So the first thing we're faced with is Unstoppable. Now, I've got the artifact mod on where stopping a champion creates elemental thing, whatever you want to call it. Mine is solar, so it's like an explosion when you stop the champion. It is worthwhile putting that on. And for most of the videos, I've got 3 videos to edit and put out over the next couple of days. So for most of them, you'll see that I'm going to find it difficult to put down the Mint Retrograde. It is very, very, very good weapon. But I have been playing with a number of loadouts, so it won't just be, you know, Whisper, Scout Rifle. You know, I have found quite a few weapons so far that I'm enjoying using. So, another thing that you're going to have in here, and you'll have seen me take 2 of them out so far, is turrets. So you've got 2 that we've took out so far, and then there's 3 up at the back. You can take them all, you can take 2 of them out from where I'm standing. That would be those 2. And then there's 1 to the left, further up to the left. You don't really have to worry about that until you get to this opening, because you're shielded from its fire. So let's talk a little bit about this mini boss. So the idea is you put a heap of damage on this mini boss. This one that's going to come out the Electus, which is the name of the tank. There it is. 1 shot and done. Here he is. He's going to come out. He's going to fire those kind of blinding rockets at you. It's like a burst of rockets. And then he's obviously, like all of his ilk, all of his Cabal Centurion buddies, is it Centurions? Like all of them, he's got a big machine gun. So the idea is, once he goes immune, just grab this head, you see there, he gets a shield around him. We're going to run around him and find, he's going to stop in an area. He won't just keep walking about. He'll stop at an area, and we want to get that shield, the shield generator, we want to get that between him and us, because that acts as a shield to his weapon damage. So we can stand directly, have that directly in between us and him, and you can take out the shield without worrying about being shot. So that's this first area. Now there's a couple of ads here, but really you're just heading up to the open area of this strike, which is basically like the tank garage. Yeah, I don't think it's called that, but that's what that's what I'm gonna call it. So once you take out these ads, and a little bit heavy, another thing is, because I'm using Transcendence, there is a mod you can put on, especially when you're running solar, I think. I can't remember if it's all of them. Yeah, oh no, it's solar. If you pick up an orb, it will give you a desired effect based on your subclass. So because I'm on solar, I will get restoration. So every orb I pick up, I get restoration. That's why you'll see me take a beeline sometimes for an orb instead of going where I need to go. So this is kind of like the tank garage. I know that's not what it's called. So the main enemies here to start with are these scions, the two scions left and right. They will come back when the tanks come out, but for now that's them gone. You will have a barrier champion. You will have like a big dude, just like a big heavy elite, and you'll have interceptors, one left, one right, one at the back. Now as you can see there, I done this maybe the end of last week, start of this week, and I completely forgot that I'm supposed to keep the one at the back up. I'm not sure if I have. I think I just took him out. So what you want to do is take the Colossus, take those big elites out, and then just whittle the adds down. The way that I would do this now, because I've been in here now a few times, is I would take out the interceptors left and right, the way we always used to, and that kind of frees you up. Now we've got dogs coming in. At a certain time, you will get dogs. You'll get one wave per kind of damage section, if you like. So once we get the tanks out at a different time, some point through the encounter, we're going to get another set of dogs. So just be mindful then. But the good thing about the dogs, as opposed to some of those some of those ads that can come out in waves, you can hear the dogs because they bark and growl. So I did leave the interceptor up at the end. Now you will get at this area this little guy. Now unfortunately, trying to kill him, I've killed the interceptor. You will get this elite scion. That is kind of like the nod to the next section. So once you've killed him, that's why I leave the very back interceptor up, so I can kill him, come back here, and then kill the last interceptor before the tanks come out. Now again, because it's been a while since I'd done this strike, I forgot that once you take out the front two legs of the tanks, you just have to do some surface damage. Now because I've got an explosive pulse rifle, 2 shots on the legs, the pulse rifle itself will take the tank out, but because the tanks are at the end and I'm here, I can stand here, and those kind of, I don't know what you would call them, banner holders that are on the ceiling, they kind of block the tank shot, so you're kind of good here. I wouldn't suggest it on GM right enough, but this is the first time I've done anything like this in Destiny in a long time. So as you can see, I've took the front 2 legs out, and then because it'll work the same with the grenade, any kind of area effect, you can just shoot the tank, whatever. His crit spots are I'm saying the legs, they're like the wheel covers, if you like, the hover jets. I don't really know what you can call them. It's difficult with games like Destiny to try and use real world analogies for stuff, because it's a space game. Right, so that's all the enemies here. So the idea is, when you come into this tank room, take out the snipers, do it at the start of each round. The first round you want to take the interceptors left and right, and then work on the champions and the smaller adds. Leave the final interceptor up at the back, and then when the tanks come out, take out the first 2 crit spots left and right, and then use your explosive damage or grenade, something area effect, and just hit the center, and that's the tanks done. And then you can whittle everything down from the back. So now we're heading through to the mechanic part of the strike, which involves grabbing orbs, placing them, and that will open a door which will allow you to go through kill ads, grab an orb, place it until there's no more orbs to place, and all the doors are open. Simple, right? So a little bit of trivia here. This used to be one of the most annoying things in the game, this section right here, because although I don't know if they fixed it, all the runs I've done this week for different pieces of, different rewards, I've never even been hit by a rock. But you used to jump across here, and you just get knocked off into the tracks, which would in turn kill you immediately. But I never even felt like I was going to get hit, so I don't know if it's something that they've addressed, because there's nothing worse than being all the way here, because we're almost at the boss room now. Being all the way here, just be knocked off by a stray rock. So, as you can see, champion, you've got a barrier here, and that's really it in this section. If you're doing higher content, which is only higher than this is GM, which we will be doing once I get to the level to be competitive in a GM. You might have barriers through this next room, but as it is, we don't have a barrier in this next room, I don't think. So again, another thing you'll have to contend with in this area is turrets. So in this next room, in the first room you've got those two up to the left, which we've taken both of them out. When you go through this room, you're going to have three. So you have one there, one up to the left, and then where the first one is, there's one to the right of it on the other side of that platform at the back. So take out the Colossus. Now, you're either going to have this guy, or you're going to have, like we did in the tank room, you're going to have an elite Scion. If it's the Scion, just jump across. Your pulse rifle should be able to sort them out, or whatever you're using. You've also got snipers up there. We never took the first one out because he just kept hiding, so there was no point in actually trying to take him out. It would just be a time sink. Grab your other core, and we'll take it. When we go out here, again, if you were doing a higher difficulty, you would have a barrier out here. I actually thought you got a barrier out here in Master, but I don't think I did. Watch out for these gladiators. Now, if the gladiator does push you, then your pulse rifle will take him out in one burst. So don't feel like, as you can see there, don't feel like you've got to stand and trade blows. So my orb, you can see it flashing there, it's going to disappear. Don't worry if it disappears, because you can just go back and pick it up. Now, as you can see, I was looking for the barrier, because I thought there was one here in Master, but obviously I was wrong. So, we're going to put this orb, just get this special, we're going to plant this orb just where we killed those last three elites. And then that door will open and we should get an unstoppable there before we get onto the platform, which takes us to the boss room. So, once you're going to plant this, you're just going to... What I do is I like to... Cause there's a bunch of dogs that come out as well. I like to put my grenade down and just let the dogs run into it. So I hold off until I hear the dogs, and then my grenade just pulls them, and then just clear the rest of the ads from here. So while we're clearing these ads, let's talk a little bit about the boss room. The boss room, like most boss rooms, kinda is an accumulation of what you've done so far in the strike. So we're not really going to have orbs. It's going to go back to the start. We're going to have the shields. So the boss will have a set amount of health. Then he will go. He's got set places. He will go. He will shield, and you have to take down the shield, and that takes down his immunity shield. Now his attacks are he periodically lets out fireballs. Now the scout rifle will kill the fireballs. There's maybe about 8 or 9. We'll kill them with one shot. But I'm going to show you something that I was just shooting the orbs to start with here, but I found something and I didn't notice it until when I was watching the footage. That there are places you can go where they can't hit you, or it's more difficult for them to hit you. But so when you come in here, you're going to start the strike off. If you do not have your super, you're going to start the boss fight off, should I say. This, activating this, begin the right of... I never even seen what that said. Begin the rate of something. They're the fireballs. Once you activate that pillar, it will give you your super. So you can use your super to get to this point, and you will get it back. So as you can see, these fireballs, they track you, right? These two the kind of cover walls, they will block the fireballs from hitting you. If you feel a little bit overwhelmed, just get behind these. Now another thing you'll see is There we go. That's just what I was about to say. The retrograde is an explosive pulse rifle, so please make sure you're not standing behind a wall when you fire them. Now you see that? If you're standing, not right against it, but just back maybe a little bit, enough that the fireballs can see you in a straight line, they will hit the top of this. They will not touch you, but just the reason why I'm saying stay back is they need to be able to hit you. See, there I'm getting my restoration. They need to be able to see you in a straight line, and as with a lot of Destiny content, there might be like an invisible barrier that they can't get, you know, they can't skim the top of that to get to you. But you, again, you don't want to be affected by the splash damage. So what I do is I go down to the top, the bottom, where you come in is where I do the first bit. Then I come up to the back here for the second bit, because when he goes immune the second time, he's going to jump up on that thing to our left, and we want to be waiting up there so that we can shoot the shield generator as fast as possible. So he's just hiding a little bit, so I'll try and get 3. Oh, we got 4, there we go. He's immune now, so we're going to jump up here. That's why we came up to this side. He'll jump up, and as soon as the shield goes up, 2 bursts, you can get down. Every time you break his immunity shield, you are going to get a champion. Now, if we were doing this on Grandmaster, that would be 2 barrier champions, but as it is, 2 unstoppables. As it is, we're only getting 1, and we're getting a gladiator. So what I'm doing now is popping my super. I'm using the chest plate. I'm using is a sanguine alchemy. So as you can see, that red kind of thing on his, I've marked on them, and enemies that are marked take more damage with the sanguine. If you're using a weapon that matches your super, it's 4 stacks of damage they take, so about an extra 35%, 35%, and also getting kills while you're in your rift with the sanguine pauses it, and you can do that up to ×3, which gives you another 15 to 20 seconds of extra rift. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that run. The next 2 videos will be 2 Empire hunts, and hopefully I'll have them up very soon. Take it easy, guys, and I'll speak to you in the next video.